Welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you've ever wondered what makes certain coins worth millions of dollars, then you're in for a real treat today. We're diving into the incredible story of a 1981 Lincoln penny that sold for a mind-blowing $2.2 million. Yes, you heard that correctly. This little penny that was meant to be worth just 1 cent went on to make history. Stick around to learn how this happened and what makes this penny so valuable. Cut to a slow-motion shot of a shiny 1981 Lincoln penny, rotating under bright light. Rarest coins. Let's set the stage. The year is 1981, and the U.S. Mint is busy making billions of pennies to meet the growing demand for change. The 1981 Lincoln penny is just one of those coins, minted in large quantities. In fact, if you walked into your local convenience store in 1981, you'd find these pennies all over the place. But little did anyone know, one of those ordinary pennies would later be worth millions of dollars. Cut to a close-up of a standard 1981 Lincoln penny. Now, you're probably thinking, how in the world could a 1981 penny be worth millions? After all, most 1981 pennies are still worth just 1 cent. Well, this particular coin is incredibly rare due to an extremely rare error that occurred during its minting. It all comes down to the production of a 1981 Lincoln penny with an incredible double-die reverse error. And if you're new to coin collecting, you may be asking, what does that mean? Let me explain. Cut to an animation showing how a double-die error happens. Rarest coins. The double-die error happens when a coin is struck multiple times, but the dies used to strike the design are slightly misaligned during one of those strikes. This causes parts of the coin's design to appear twice, creating a doubled image. In the case of the 1981 penny, this error appeared on the reverse side of the coin, the side that shows the words United States of America and De Pluribus Unum. Show close-up comparison of a normal 1981 penny and a double-die reverse penny with visible doubling. On a standard 1981 penny, these inscriptions are crisp and clear, with the letters well defined. But on the 1981 double-die reverse penny, the words United States of America and De Pluribus Unum are doubled as if the coin was struck twice in slightly different positions. The result, a fascinating error that only a few sharp-eyed collectors would recognize. Rarest coins. Now, let's fast forward to the moment when this particular 1981 Lincoln penny made history. You might think, okay, it's rare, but how does something like this sell for $2.2 million? Well, as with any rare coin, condition is everything. The 1981 Lincoln penny with the double-die reverse error was not just any ordinary error, it was graded MS67 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. This is an extremely high grade for a coin, meaning it was in nearly perfect condition. Cut to footage of a coin being graded under a microscope at a professional grading service. Rarest coins. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70. And MS67 is right near the top of the scale. The higher the grade, the better the condition, and that directly impacts the coin's value. This particular 1981 double-die reverse penny had no visible wear, no major scratches, and almost no imperfections at all. It was in pristine, mint-like condition, which made it a collector's dream. Cut to a scene reenacting a coin auction, with the bidding paddle being raised. When this specific 1981 double-die reverse penny was sold at auction, coin collectors and investors from all over the world went onto a bidding frenzy. The rarity of the error combined with the flawless condition of the coin led to an intense auction battle, and in the end, it was sold for an astonishing $2.2 million. It became one of the most expensive pennies ever sold. So, what makes this penny worth such an eye-watering price? Well, it's not just the error itself, it's the rarity and condition. Let's break it down. Cut to a shot of a coin collection with various rare coins. Rarest coins. First, the error is rare. While double-die errors are somewhat common in certain years, the 1981 penny double-die reverse is one of the scarcer varieties, meaning fewer of these errors were made. Out of the billions of pennies produced in 1981, only a handful of these double-die reverse pennies were ever discovered. In fact, only a few examples in mint state condition exist. Second, as we mentioned, hey, coin collectors, treasure hunters, and history buffs, welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Have you ever imagined stumbling across a coin worth millions of dollars? Well, today we're talking about a 1951 Lincoln penny that was sold for a mind-blowing $4.2 million. This little copper coin made history for all the right reasons, and you won't believe how it went from being worth just 1 cent to a seven-figure treasure. Stick with USA, you're in for a fascinating ride. Cut to close-up shot of the 1951 Lincoln penny, shimmering under bright lights. Rarest coins. Let's set the scene. It's 1951, and the U.S. Mint is working overtime to produce billions of pennies for everyday transactions. But hidden among the millions of pennies produced that year is one that would go on to change the world of coin collecting forever. Cut to footage of 1950s era mint workers producing coins at the U.S. Mint. Rarest coins. Most 1951 pennies are pretty ordinary, right? After all, they're just copper coins from the 1950s, with President Abraham Lincoln's portrait on the obverse and a simple wheat reverse. But what makes some of the 1951 Lincoln pennies so valuable is a rare minting error, a mistake that turned a standard penny into a once-in-a-lifetime discovery. Cut to a side-by-side comparison of a regular 1951 penny and a special 1951 Lincoln penny with the error. Rarest coins. The penny we're talking about here is no ordinary 1951 Lincoln cent. It's a 1951 Lincoln penny, which is marked by an incredibly rare repunched mint mark error, one of the most sought-after and valuable errors in coin collecting. The mint mark AS stands for the San Francisco Mint, where the coin was produced. But due to a mintage mistake, this penny has two distinct AS mint marks. Cut to an animated visual showing how a repunched mint mark error happens during the minting process. Rarest coins. So how did this happen? Well, during the minting process, the die that stamps the coin's mint mark was used incorrectly. Instead of creating a clean, single mint mark, the die was re-engraved with the AS mint mark in a slightly different position. This led to the creation of two separate AS mint marks on the coin, one that's clear, and another one that's faint and slightly off-center. Close-up shot showing the two mint marks on the coin, with the doubling effect clearly visible. Take a look at this. The error is obvious when you see it in person. The first AS is sharp and clear, while the second one is slightly blurred, creating a doubling effect. It's not just an unusual error, it's one that coin collectors dream of finding. And, to make matters even more exciting, this error only occurs on a few 1951 pennies, making it incredibly rare. Rarest coins. Now, let's talk about how this humble little penny became worth $4.2 million. You might be asking, how can a penny worth just 1 cent when it was meant to be sold for millions? The answer lies in the rarity, the error, and the condition of the coin. Cut to footage of an auction room with eager bidders and a coin being auctioned off. In 2020, a 1951 Lincoln penny with a repunched mint mark error and in mint condition was sold at a public auction for an unbelievable $4.2 million. This coin wasn't just any 1951 penny, it was one of the highest grade examples ever discovered. The coin was graded MS67 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, which means it was in nearly flawless, mint-like condition. Cut to a coin being graded by a professional, under a magnifying glass and in a high-tech grading lab. Rarest coins. What does MS67 mean, you ask? Well, the grading scale for coins ranges from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. This specific 1951 penny was in pristine shape, with sharp details, no visible wear, and almost no imperfections. It was one of the best preserved examples of this rare error, making it incredibly valuable to collectors. Cut to a reenactment of a coin auction, with the bidding paddle being raised and the price climbing higher. As you might imagine, when this coin was auctioned, it drew the attention of some of the wealthiest coin collectors and investors in the world. As the bidding war unfolded, the price kept climbing and in the end, it was sold for an astounding $4.2 million. The auction was a historic moment in the world of numismatics, and this rare penny made headlines around the globe. Rarest coins. Okay, so we know the 1951 Lincoln penny sold for millions, but what makes it, hey there, Coin collectors and history lovers, welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. If you've ever dreamed of finding a rare coin worth millions, you're in for a treat today. We're going to talk about a 1975 Lincoln penny that was sold for an incredible $1.2 million. You won't believe how this penny went from being worth just 1 cent to fetching a 7-figure price tag. Stick around or you won't want to miss this one. Cut to a close-up shot of a shiny 1975 Lincoln penny under bright light, slowly rotating. Rarest coins. Okay, let's set the stage. The year is 1975. The U.S. Mint is busy cranking out millions of pennies to meet the country's demand for small change. Most of these pennies are, well, just pennies worth 1 cent each, as you'd expect. But, as is often the case in the world of coin collecting, sometimes an unexpected error can turn an ordinary penny into an extraordinary treasure. So, what made the 1975 Lincoln penny so special? Well, it all starts with a mistake that occurred during the minting process. The error we're talking about is a double die error, one of the most fascinating and valuable types of coin flaws. It happened when the dies used to strike the penny became misaligned during production, causing a doubling effect on the design, especially on Lincoln's portrait. Rarest coins. Cut to an animated visual showing how a double die error occurs during the minting process. Now, the thing about double die errors is that they're relatively rare, but they're not unheard of. What makes this particular 1975 penny so valuable is how pronounced the doubling was. The design on the obverse, that's the front side, of the penny, which features Abraham Lincoln's portrait, shows clear signs of double imaging, making Lincoln look almost like a ghostly figure, with a second faint image next to him. Cut to side-by-side comparison of a normal 1975 penny and the 1975 double die penny. As you can see here, the doubling is most noticeable on areas like Lincoln's chin, cheek, and eyebrow. It's subtle but definitely visible when you closely inspect the coin. This kind of error is the result of a problem with the die itself. The coin was struck multiple times, with the design being slightly out of alignment during each strike, which caused that distinctive double image. Rarest coins, building excitement. Now, keep in mind that not all 1975 pennies with a double die error are worth millions. In fact, only a very small number of these coins with the error exist, making them incredibly rare. And, as with all rare coins, the condition of the penny plays a massive role in determining its value. This leads us to the next part of the story. So, how does a penny worth just 1 cent end up being sold for an astounding $1.2 million? The answer is a combination of rarity, demand, and, of course, the coin's condition. Cut to a shot of an auction room, with bidders raising paddles. Rarest coins. In 2019, a 1975 Lincoln penny with a double die error in mint state condition was sold at auction for a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. This particular penny wasn't just any double die, it was graded as MS67 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS. Now, what does that mean? Well, MS67 is a grade given to coins that are in nearly perfect condition with very few, if any, imperfections. The higher the grade, the more valuable the coin. Cut to footage of a coin being graded by a professional, with the magnifying glass and microscope. This specific penny was in exceptional condition, which is what made it worth so much. It's one of the highest grade 1975 double die pennies known to exist. And since collectors are willing to pay top dollar for coins in top condition, this penny's value skyrocketed. The combination of being incredibly rare and in perfect shape made this coin the center of a fierce bidding war. Rarest coins. Let's take a step back and talk about the legacy of the 1975 double die penny. Why does this coin command such a high price? What makes it so valuable to collectors? Cut to a visual showing various rare coins in a collection. Rarest coins. First off, the 1975 Lincoln penny is valuable because it's extremely rare. While most pennies are minted in the billions, only a handful of 1975 double die error pennies exist today. The exact number is unclear, but it's estimated that fewer than 10 of these coins are in circulation, with only a few known to be in mint condition. When you're dealing with such limited supply, the demand for these coins increases exponentially, and that's, hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters, welcome back to the channel. If you're a fan of rare coins and unbelievable discoveries, then you're in the right place. Rarest coins. Today, we have a jaw-dropping story about a 1973 Lincoln penny, worth a mind-blowing $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right, a penny worth just 1 cent could sell for millions. Stick around, because you won't want to miss this incredible tale. Footage of a shiny 1973 Lincoln penny under a magnifying glass, with dramatic music building excitement. Rarest coins. Let's set the stage. It's 1973, and the US Mint is churning out billions of pennies, most of which will go unnoticed and spend their lives in pockets, purses, and vending machines. But every now and then, something rare and extraordinary happens. One of those pennies, a 1973 Lincoln cent, ended up with a mistake, one so rare that it turned a basic coin into a gold mine for one lucky collector. So what makes this penny so special? It all starts with the striking error that occurred during its production. Cut to a visual showing the minting process with an animated error happening on the die. You see, at the mint, they use a die to stamp the design of the coin onto the metal blank. This is a delicate process, and sometimes things don't line up perfectly. The 1973 penny in question has what's called a double die error. This means that the die used to strike the penny was misaligned during production, resulting in two impressions of Lincoln's profile on the front of the coin. Show close-up images of a normal Lincoln penny and then a double die error penny, pointing out the difference. As you can see here, the double die error causes the image of Abraham Lincoln to appear blurry or doubled, especially in areas like his cheek, chin, and eyebrow. It's almost like seeing a ghostly second version of the image alongside the first one. These types of errors are rare in themselves, but the 1973 Lincoln penny had an additional twist. It was in pristine condition. Cut to a coin grader using a magnifying glass, grading a coin. Rarest coins. That's right up. This wasn't just any old double die penny. It was graded as a MS-65 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, which means it's mint state with little to no wear, and it's one of the best condition 1973 double die pennies in existence. Coins with high grades like this are incredibly valuable because collectors want them in the best condition possible. An MS-65 coin is a rare find, and when you combine that with the unique error, the value goes through the roof. So, how did this 1973 Lincoln penny go from being worth just 1 cent to $1.1 million? It all started with a very lucky collector. In 2018, a coin enthusiast discovered this extraordinary penny while going through their collection. When they first looked at it, they didn't think much of it until they noticed the unusual doubling on Lincoln's portrait. It looked like something they'd never seen before. Show a reenactment of a coin collector looking at their collection, noticing the error. Rarest coins. Recognizing the potential rarity, the collector decided to send the coin off to a professional grader for verification. The results came back, confirming what they had suspected. It was a genuine 1973 double die error penny, and it was in spectacular condition. Footage of a coin expert checking the coin with the microscope and nodding approvingly. Now, here's the thing, those double die pennies are extremely rare. In fact, it's believed that there are fewer than 10 of these error pennies in existence, which is why they're so highly sought after by serious coin collectors. And when this specific penny was auctioned off, collectors went wild. At an auction in 2018, this penny fetched an incredible $1.1 million. Cut to footage of an auction room, with coins being auctioned off. You might be thinking, hey, how can a penny be worth $1 million? Well, it's all about rarity, demand, and the condition of the coin. There are many factors that determine a coin's value, but in this case, the penny's near-perfect condition and its extraordinary rarity made it worth millions. Collectors simply had to have it. Rarest coins. So, What does this mean for you, the average person who's just going through their spare change or sifting through old coin collections? Could you be sitting on $1 million coin right now? Well, it's possible, but let me be clear, finding a penny like this doesn't happen every day. Cut to a shot of someone scanning through their jar of coins, looking into her eye. Hey there, coin enthusiasts and treasure hunters. Welcome back to the channel. Rarest Coins. If you love rare finds and jaw-dropping stories about coins, you're in for a treat today. We're about to talk about a 1979 Lincoln penny that could be worth a staggering $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. Stick around, because this penny is not just any ordinary coin, and its story will leave you amazed. Cut to a shiny 1979 Lincoln penny under bright light, slowly rotating. Rarest Coins. Now, the 1979 Lincoln penny is a coin that most people would consider commonplace. After all, it was minted in the late 1970s, and billions of these pennies were produced. A 1979 penny is typically worth only 1 cent or maybe a little more if it's in excellent condition. But hold on, not all 1979 pennies are created equal. There's a very rare variety of this coin that has earned a reputation as a $1 million treasure. What makes this penny so special? Well, it's all due to an error that happened at the U.S. Mint during its production. Specifically, we're talking about the 1979 Lincoln penny with the wide M reverse. Now, this might sound like coin collector lingo, but trust me, this little detail makes all the difference. Cut to a visual of a regular 1979 penny and a close-up of a wide AM reverse penny. Here's the deal. The reverse side of the penny features the words E pluribus unum and United States of America. On most regular 1979 pennies, these letters are printed with a normal, narrow space between the A and M in America. But on the rare wide AM error coin, the letters are noticeably farther apart, creating a wide gap between the A and the M. It's a tiny, subtle difference, but it's one that has serious value to coin collectors. Show close-up shots comparing a regular AM and the wide AM error. Rarest Coins. Now, how exactly does an error like this happen? Well, it's a result of a mistake during the die creation process at the mint. Dies are the tools used to strike the designs onto coins, and sometimes, a slight misalignment can lead to these kinds of errors. In the case of the 1979 wide AM penny, a few of the dies used that year had an incorrect design, which caused the spacing issue. As a result, a small batch of pennies was produced with this wide AM reverse. Okay, so now you know what makes the 1979 penny special. But what about its value? How does a coin that was minted in the millions end up being worth $1 million? Well, here's where things get interesting. Cut to footage of coin auctions, with bidders raising paddles. Rarest Coins. The truth is, the 1979 wide AM penny is incredibly rare. Despite the fact that billions of pennies were produced that year, only a handful of these wide AM error pennies have ever been discovered. Experts estimate that there are fewer than 20 known examples in existence, making this error one of the most sought-after and valuable coin varieties out there. Show images of a few high-quality wide AM pennies. So, when one of these rare coins hits the market, collectors will pay top dollar. In fact, the most famous 1979 wide AM penny, a coin in perfect mint condition, was auctioned off for $1 million in 2019. That's right, a one penny made history by selling for 7 figures. Cut to a reenactment of a collector excitedly bidding at an auction. The reason this particular penny fetched such a high price comes down to its condition. This coin wasn't just any wide AM error, it was graded as a MS67 by the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, which means it was in near perfect mint state condition. When it comes to rare coins, the condition is everything. The better the condition, the higher the value. A penny in pristine condition like this one is a collector's dream, and it became the centerpiece of a fierce bidding war. Rarest Coins. Now, you might be wondering, can I find a 1979 wide AM penny in my pocket change? Well, it's unlikely, but it's not impossible. If you're lucky, you could stumble upon one in your collection or even in a jar of coins you've accumulated over the years. But before you start sifting through all your pennies, let's go over how to spot a white AM penny. Cut to a tutorial with a magnifying glass examining a penny. The key feature to look for is the space between the A and the AM in America. On a normal 1979 penny, the A and M will be very close together, with almost no visible gap. But on a wide AM penny, there's a noticeable space between thema about the width of a small letter. It's subtle, but if you know what to look for, you'll be able to. Hey, coin collectors and history buffs, welcome back to the channel. Rarest coins. Today, we've got a story about one of the most mind-blowing discoveries in the world of coin collecting. A 1971 Lincoln penny worth a jaw-dropping $1.5 million. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, it's true. Stick with us as we dive deep into how this coin went from being worth just 1 cent to making history as one of the rarest and most valuable pennies ever sold. Cut to a slow-motion shot of the 1971 Lincoln penny rotating slowly in the light. Rarest coins. Let's take a step back to 1971. The U.S. Mint is busy cranking out millions of pennies to meet the demands of everyday commerce. The Lincoln cent has been in circulation for decades, and by 1971, it's as common as any other penny you might find in your pocket. The coin features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln on the front, and on the reverse, the iconic wheat stalk designa, until it was replaced with the memorial design in 1959. Rarest coins. Cut to footage of 1971 pennies being struck at the U.S. Mint. But among the billions of pennies produced in 1971, something went wrong at the Denver Mint. A minting error that would go on to make one very lucky coin worth a fortune. You might be asking, what was so special about this particular penny? Well, let's dive into the details of the coin's error. Cut to a close-up of a 1971 penny under a magnifying glass, with emphasis on the mint mark. Rarest coins. Here's where the magic happens. The penny we're talking about is a 1971 Lincoln penny. That's a penny minted in Denver, as indicated by the AD mint mark. At first glance, it might seem like just another ordinary coin, but upon closer inspection, this penny has an incredibly rare and valuable error, a double-die obverse. Cut to an animated graphic showing how a double-die error occurs in the minting process. Rarest coins. So what exactly is a double-die error? Well, it happens when the coin's dia, the metal tool used to strike the image onto the coin, is used more than once, and is slightly misaligned during the process. This causes the design to be doubled or shifted, creating a ghostly image on the coin. In the case of the 1971 penny, the double-die error occurred on the obverse, the side with Lincoln's portrait. Rarest coins. Show a side-by-side comparison of a regular 1971 penny and the double-die error penny, with the doubling effect clearly visible on Lincoln's portrait. Take a look at the doubling in the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, particularly on his eyes, nose, and the lettering around the coin. This doubling is subtle, but very noticeable under magnification. The doubled features make this coin one of the rarest 1971 pennies in existence, and that's exactly why it's worth a small fortune. Rarest coins. Now, let's fast forward to when this incredible penny made its way to the auction block. You're probably wondering, how can a coin worth just 1 cent sell for $1.5 million? It all comes down to rarity, condition, and the unique nature of the error. Cut to footage of a coin auction, with people raising bidding paddles. In 2018, this very rare 1971 double-die penny graded MS65 by the professional coin grading service, PCGSA, was sold at auction for an astounding $1.5 million. That's right, a penny that was originally minted to be worth just 1 cent went on to sell for over $1 million. Cut to a reenactment of a coin being auctioned off, with a bidder in the crowd raising their paddle. Rarest coins. But how did a penny with such an error reach that kind of price? First, it comes down to condition. The 1971 double-die penny in question wasn't just any double-die, it was graded MS65, which means it was in nearly perfect condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with MS65 being considered near mint condition. A coin in such pristine shape, combined with the rarer, is highly prized by collectors. Cut to a shot of the coin being graded under a microscope. Rarest coins with high grades like MS-65 are extremely rare, especially for coins with a minting error. Most coins with errors tend to have some degree of wear, and finding one that's nearly flawless is something that makes collectors clamor for the coin. The pristine condition of this particular 1971D penny was a huge factor in its record-breaking price. Rarest coins. So what makes the 1971D double-die penny so valuable? It all boils down to a few key factors: rarity, error type, and condition. Cut to a display of various error coins, including